Where the music at? There it is. There we go. Alright, and let me post my thingy. I'm excited because I'm finally on the first SMP I actually ever applied to and was accepted to. This was before the Charmed SMP was in place, this before anything. We have been working on this for so long! And of course, right? It had to premiere when I couldn't be at the house, right? I couldn't stream the opening. Cause for those of you who are in the know, you should be aware at this point that this premiered like sometime mid last week. And of course it had to premiere when I already had another game in the mix. Now I'm not saying this like I'm angry. I'm not saying this like I'm angry at all. I'm saying this like I think it's funny, right? Let me hang on, I forgot to do a thing. But I'm just excited because the Forgotten SMP is here, baby! Oh, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. Because again, I have been working on this for so long. Like, we are gonna start out the video with a little bit of lore. But for those of you who are either watching my VODs and don't watch any of the other people who are in my circle, or just weren't there, basically what has happened so far has been, from Mordecai's perspective, Mordecai came back from a trip to encounter a massive explosion at a local town that Mordecai kind of quasi-frequents / is in the sphere of. Like, it's not really a constant thing, which is why he's not sure what's going on and why it went kablooey. But, so that is as far as Mordecai is aware what has happened so far. So, like I said, we are going to be starting this with lore. But just a little bit. Just one book. It's fine. One book, 7 pages. And one of those pages is, like, literally a sentence. But I'm excited! Oh my goodness. And I'm glad to get my voice a rest after all that Deltarune, you know? Alright. Hang on. Let's switch. Alright, cool. And yes, I put more music on here than I didn't have on before. Anyway, let's go. It's been a while, hasn't it? I've had trouble finding the right words to respond to your letters, so I know you don't mind me rambling, but I gotta be honest, it's a bit embarrassing. I digress. Do you remember that little town I told you about? The one in the mushroom fields? I can't recall what they named it, but that's not important. I'm sure word has reached the Nether by now, but there was an incident. Who am I fooling? I can't dance around something this grim like it's an everyday thing. There was a massive explosion. It blinded me temporarily. Well, more than I already am. A few bits survived, like one of the stables. The people, however, I fear they've all suffered severe head trauma. For the most part, they ignored me. Now, if this was under normal circumstances, I'd be happy at that. As it stands, I've decided to rebuild the steps. It's what Stella would have done. My home will now be open to them as long as they need it. Maybe I can apply what I learned from, well, you know. Regardless, I will help them. There was one person I spoke with. While I didn't get her name, I didn't get their name, they were in a total state of panic. They asked about a goat child. While I'm not certain who they were talking about, I do have some ideas. And I pray that I'm wrong. Well, I've chattered enough. I hope this note finds you in good health, physically and mentally. Until fortune ends, Mordecai. Alright, let's go put this in the mail. Alright, cool. Put that down there. Okay. And I I do have a letter to deliver. We will see about whether or not I can do that. We shall see. Anyway, welcome to the Silent Steps. So yeah, literally, oh man, I wish I could fly up and show you how flipping cool this biome is. I showed it on an older stream, but literally, there's a mushroom biome, a snowy like a snowy taiga, a ice spikes, a jungle, a couple of reefs, a couple of different ocean biomes, all in one spot. They all coalesce in one. It is so cool. Like, I cannot even begin to explain to you how freaking cool this area is. Also, I do have a little bit of a project that I'm working on over at the impact site where I'm kind of glassing it in, like a little manhole or whatever. Just partially because I keep falling in it as I go by and I'm annoyed. Because, like, it's not very often that I come over by this area, right? But it is enough that it does annoy me when crap like that happens. Any old way, my loves. Any old way. Let us go. Let us go. But yes. Where that ruined portal is, that is where the town is. Anyway. I don't know if I have enough, but we'll see. If I have to gather more sand, I will. And like I said, I do have a book to deliver somewhere over here. Oh, there's a sign there now. Hello. Or is it a sign? Or am I blind? It's not a sign. I don't know where it is. But anyway, yeah, this spot is super duper stinking cool. I have definitely been through here recently. Alright, but yes. Ouch, that hurt. Any old way, my loves. Let's get into it. That was not what I wanted, darn it. Come on, I know there's some in my hotbar. That is not what I wanted. Or not in my hotbar, my inventory is what I meant. Yeah, I definitely don't have enough to glass it in. I'm gonna need to go gather more at some point. Alright, anyway. Alright, good. The Moon Lord has... Gosh darn it. I hate it here. That is one thing that stinks about not having a Silk Touch pickaxe yet. Because I found diamonds. I'm still working on getting enough that I feel comfortable going to the Nether. Well, either off camera or in the whole, like, we acknowledge that this is not technically Mordecai going to the Nether. This is just me going to the Nether. Like, if Mordecai goes to the Nether, it will be a lot bigger deal than that. Well, fun. That's all I had. Anyway, yeah, like, see, there's an ice spikes over here. I thought I was walking out onto ice. That's fine. And also, I'm not a blaze board on this server because I don't think we have that installed yet. But anyway, I am pretty sure the person who this letter is meant to go to, I'm fairly certain their house is over here. If they've started building it. If not, I'm just going to hold on to this until I know where their house is. Because I know they had plans to build it up on the side of the mountain like this. But, Because the only thing of Mordecai's that was built prior to the SMP starting was the very top little level of his house. Because I'll show you when I go back in. Mordecai's house actually goes way deep. I just don't have access to it yet. Yeah, I am pretty sure that their house is being built into the side of this mountainside. So, we are going to go ahead and deliver this to them. I forget if their character's name is their name, but the streamer is Shelby Rose. Because I forget if other people are paranoid like me and will, you know, be like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't use our real names because that confuses people. Because fun fact, that's why I do it. Anyway, a dolphin. But yeah, like, this spawn is so flippin' cool. I cannot get over how cool this spawn is. Anyway, like, I've literally saved this so I can play around with it on our own private worlds. Because, like, that is just how cool it is. I'm not gonna steal their coal, even though I could probably theoretically use it. I will take down this once I come back down. Bop. Ba-da, bop. Ba-da, bop. Bop. Ba-da, ba-da. Alright. Cool. Alrighty. Cool. Ouch. Okay. There it is. Okay. Shelby, okay. So yeah, Shelby is their name. Alright, good. That has been delivered. Ouch. Why did I do that again? Hip. Hip. Ouch. Alright, let's go take down the... what was here before, and we'll eat when we need to. That is not eating, that is placing down wooden planks. Yeah, I don't know why I did not have a lot of the Undertale music on my soundtrack. Like, I pretty much had everything past Metal Crusher was not on here for whatever reason. But regardless, this, I believe this is actually, fun fact, an NPC's house. NPC, quote-unquote NPC. To my knowledge, this is an NPC's house. Regardless. Let's go, my loves. I should probably, like, actually have a boat, or attempt to make a boat. So we might go pop over onto the fisherman's dock here for a second. Just enough time to, you know, actually do whatever. Alrighty. That's neat looking. Alright. And then this, I do not have my handy little... you can craft just by, you know... having the crafting table in your hand and clicking the box. Nah. Nothing like that here. Okay, cool. Alright, fine. Let's go. And we'll make another crafting table when we get home. Anyway, we've killed a lot of time. Let us be on our way. And by a lot of time, I mean a lot of time in the Minecraft day. I don't mean that, like, physically a lot of time, obviously. Yep, and there's the silent steps. And yes, I'll show you the new flag. I don't know if I like it as much as the Ashen Groves. I partially don't like it because the plan for it was a lot more complicated than it turned out, because apparently there's a limit or something on how much, like, patterns you can put on something. Oh, yeah, it's getting to nighttime. Hooly dooly, let's go. Bop, 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 bop. Hup, hup, hup. Up we get, my loves, up we get. Anyway, that is the flag of the silent step. So yeah. It is, you know, the sun over the mesa. Alrighty. And this bird does have a name, it just doesn't have a name tag, its name is Stella. But yes. And no, that is not the Stella that was being referred to in the book itself, by the way. It's just... y'all gonna have to wait for that. Anyway, let's go get the cows fed. Because, yeah, we're a little bit more established here than we were when I showed you the Charmed SMP, where I literally started with absolutely nothing. Anyway, bow. Hello, my loves. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, let's just try to feed anyone that hasn't been fed yet. Alright, cool. Alright. No, I didn't want to hit the baby. Because I'm working on getting my enchant table set up. And technically what I should be on my way to do right now is to work on, to get obsidian, because I have everything set up to get obsidian. I just haven't found, like, I mean, I know where lava is, I just don't know where lava is that I can safely access, if that makes sense. But anyway. Bow, 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 bow. And I know that one wasn't fully grown yet, I don't care. Alright, let's see. I did not want to knock down that sugar cane. That's annoying. And at some point, I might pull the cobwebs off the side of this. Like, they're just there mostly for the, like, the visual narrative that, you know, this place has been here for a long time. It hasn't really been touched up, you know? Anyway, let's get into it. Cool. Bow, bow, bow. Let's go. Alright, and now I can show you guys what the deal with the silent step actually is. Or, well, technically the silent step is the location rather than his house. Like, you would probably just call this, like, the silent house or whatever. Like, you know how the Ashen Grove's house is called the Ashen Manor. But the whole deal is that most of it is underneath and, like, completely hidden on the outside. So, like, there's gonna be rooms for, like, a lot of people to stay. I've only worked on 2, but shh, it's fine. There are a few mods on this server. This is where our enchanted station's gonna go. Like, I know that there's, like, a better mob head thing. I only know because it, like, declared itself when that dropped. But, regardless, sorry. Let me go ahead and make some books real fast for that. Bop, ba-da, ba-da, bop. Bop. And bop. And that is not what I meant to do. I have no brain sometimes, chat. Ba-da. Cool. Good. Awesome. Grab one more sheaf of paper. Beep. There we go. Alrighty. Not that that's gonna contribute to our bookshelf any, but I at least want it. Oh, well, I guess I can put it anywhere, technically. Alright. Come here, you. There we are. There we are. Bop, bop, bop. Oof, sorry, I got the burps. Alright, also let's put our steak in here. Pop, pop. Good. Down we go. Put another bookshelf up. Alright, cool. Also, I started watching I forget what year it aired, but the most recent iteration of DuckTales. Because I am an 90s child, and obviously I'm gonna be, you know, like, have a soft spot for anything that's based on my childhood. And when I tell you this show, it's targeted at millennials, right? Because it was our era. Sorry, I'm stretching. That show was in publication, right? But, it's targeted at millennials in marketed, but when I tell you the humor is so Gen Z, it hurts in a good way. For example, like, when Donald finally reveals to them that they're going to stay with, Scrooge McDuck, I believe it's Louie, I believe it's the green one, they're all, like, flipping out over, like, oh, you mean the Brazilian, this one, that, and then Louie leans over and he goes, you're finally gonna sell us. And that just got me so much. It was so good. The humor is very Gen Z. And again, in a good way. It's just very funny to me. Like, right? They're so far trying to make it a little more interested than the 90s series. Because the 90s series... Is that the Wonder Trader? Hang on. Sir, I don't have emeralds, but I'd at least like to see what you have. Lawrence, come here. I'm stuck, Lawrence. Lawrence, you cursed me. Lawrence. Anyway, come here. Are you kidding me? He has a mob head, and I can't get it. Anyway, that's fine, I guess. Alright, let's see. Today, I think we're mainly gonna go diamond mining once we get all this down. So I'm gonna put the glass back. Oh. I don't know what that llama hit, but let's hope it doesn't get angry at me. Anyway. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, we're gonna put... Actually, we're gonna make sticks out of that. Bop, bop. Very good. Very good, very pog. Alright, let's go to... Yeah, they're definitely, like, hitting the cactus or something. Again, I just hope that doesn't mean that they're mad at me. Alright, my loves, let's go. And most people you see stream on this server are going to be streaming it, like, later at night. It's just me, so, you know, I stream everything stupid early. Because it's just how I be. Oh my goodness. Wow, dang. I am fully odds today, aren't I, chat? But anyway. Alright, let's go. I'm just so excited to finally be on this server and get to show you guys everything we've been working on and stuff. Because again, all of Mordecai's stuff was developed when it was this server long before it was the Charmed SMP, like, their turn to do their thing. Alrighty. And I will say that Honeycomb Mine is a wee bit dangerous, because, like, we're working right around a bunch of pools of lava, right? So, yeah. It's a little spooky scary. Alrighty. Especially because we're not Blazeboard, so we have to be cautious. Also, watching Origins re-premiere, like, with a new, like, world and stuff, and watching poor Jack with his, please help me, I'm stuck in another realm thing. I'm like, it was me when I was first hopping onto servers, because I'm also very obstinate in terms of, like, it has to make sense stylistically. So I would either have picked Piglet or Blaze, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. So as a Blaze board, I felt Jack's pain very dearly. Because, yeah. Anyway, my loves. Oh, no. That's not good. That's spooky scary. I'm kind of tempted to leave this here. Hello, Tay6. Or Tayanix6. I forget exactly how you say their name. Anyway. Bow, bow, bow. Not Hoes. Alrighty, anyway. I don't want to mess with that tunnel anymore. That tunnel makes me nervous. Bop, bop, bop. Cool. Very good. I'm actually not even sure where 6 lives on the server. Like, off the top of my head. Oh, that's right, I needed to make another crafting table. Like, I just don't remember. Because Steampunk Angel plays the Goat Child, they play Gertie, and everyone else either plays themselves in terms of name only, or they haven't been on. But regardless, Tanix6 and I kind of hang out together in terms of, like, we're on at kind of similar times, or at least the past few times I've been building on the server they've been on. Bow, bow, bow. I can't wait to get my table set up so I can actually have my, you know, my fortune pickaxe, so I can have the Briar's fortune back. Pow, 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 pow. Alright, very good. Also, I enjoyed Delta Rune so stinking much, right? Like, I knew I would. It was just one of those things that I was like, I didn't quite expect me to enjoy it that much. But it makes sense, because, like, I was a big Undertale fan, so it makes sense. Alrighty, let's go. Pow, pow, pow. More dirt? Alright, fine. Fine by me, as long as it's not, you know, an opening into a cave, even though I know that's a more efficient way to go. I'm a coward. Pow, pow, pow. Very good. Alright. Let's see. Oh, there's the gravel. Okay, that looks like it just opens up into, like, a generic area. Cool. Alright, bop. And bop. Okay, yeah, thank gods. I mean, I'm still gonna, like, brick up the roof. But still. Still. No. I wanted the gravel off my hotbar, thank you. Alrighty, and cool. This area is just normal. Good. Alright, let us go, my loves. Pow, pow, pow. Also, I loved hearing Jack talking about Deep Slate, where he's like, I don't mind Deep Slate. It makes that, it's slightly slower than normal stone, and it's annoying. And it made me chuckle, because I'm like, it sounds like you mind it. Like, it really sounds like it bothers you, my dear. Ooh, yes, hear that lava? Yep. Which, here's the thing, I technically need it, but I'm nervous. I scared myself. I just don't know where it's gonna be, right? Like there! So here's the rub, chat. I need to see if I can get up there without dumping lava on my head. Okay. So far, that seems fine. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, chat. Okay. Oh, I opened up onto the top there. I don't want that. Oh, actually, I think I'd rather take my chances with the mobs. Okay. Alright. I feel a little more comfortable with that. Alright. Oh my gosh, no wonder I hear lava. Holy cow! Look at that! That's insanity! Oh my good golly gosh! Chat, what on earth? Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Rude. Anyway, chat, anyway. Because, yeah, I've been dodging this lava the entire time I've been in my lower tunnels. And now I can see stinking why. Holy dooly, chat. That's madness. Anyway. Bop. Bop. I see diamonds. Alright, good. Cool. This is gonna get me killed, isn't it? Alright, cool. And now I have like all the obsidian that I could possibly need. Pow, pow, pow. If I, decide to do what I wanted to do with the Ashen Grove and have it, like, be slightly waterlogged, or, like, have obsidian along the shore. But anyway, my loves, anyway. Pow, ha pow, ha pow, da pow, pow. That is scary. Let's see if I can get, like, something in here. Not there. Up there. Alright, my loves, alright. Let's go get this diamond. Come here, you. Is that really the only piece? Please say you're pranking me. You're pranking me, alright, cool. Alright, man, please don't say you're pranking me. What am I talking about, chat? Anyway. Let's go over here. Okay. Oh, wrong pickaxe. Incorrect, Logan. Alright, let's see. There we go. There's some of the new Undertale music that I hadn't had on here before. I mean, a couple of them have come up, but, like, Amalgam was one of the ones that I was really befuddled by. But anyway. Okay. This is a trick, by the way, that Phil taught me, that, if you're not sure whether or not it's gonna lead out onto more lava, put a water bucket down behind you so it'll automatically put out the fire. Ah! Jesus! Please go away, please go away, please go away. You are not welcome. Sorry, chat. Sorry that I put out your ears like that. Where did it come from is the question, right? Bow, 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 bow. Because, right, like, it looks fairly well lit up throughout here, so I'm a little baffled. Anyway. Sorry about, like, blowing out your ears there. And now there's a slime. Where is the slime? Alright. I just need enough to fix a portal frame. That's all I need. Okay, that's gonna automatically push me and annoy me. So, if it's gonna do it, I might as well be over here. Anyway, my lovelies. Alright, let's see. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, cool. Good. Also, I watched that new, like, I know it's not super common knowledge because I try to make it not common knowledge, but I had a pretty hardcore My Little Pony Friendship is Magic phase. So, I watched the new, My Little Pony movie or whatever. And while I actually don't mind the character designs as much as I thought I would, like, I think they're fine. It wasn't the best, let's phrase it that way. Like, it wasn't atrocious, right? Like, I'm not gonna, like, sit here and tell you that, like, it's the worst movie ever, oh my god, I can't believe that they took away Twilight or whatever. But, like, the things that annoy me about it, were the fact that, one, We spent the entire movie just to get the lesson that we got in every other My Little Pony Friendship is Magic episode, which is Friendship is Magic. Because they're looking for these crystals to, like, bring the magic back or whatever, and then it doesn't work, oh noes! And then it's like, then they're like, baby, the real magic was the friends we made along the way. And then it's like, oh, friendship is magic, yeah, we forgot, ooh, you know? And when I tell you that annoyed the absolute crap out of me, because it did, it genuinely annoyed me. Because I was like, we know that friendship is magic, like, what point is there in this series existed if all we get is the same thing that we got before, just in a different flavor. Also, really uncomfortable that they made, like, basically, like, pony racism canon again. Because it used to be that, like, in a lot of the older series, all of the ponies would live in their separate areas. Like, the reason Ponytown was called Ponytown is because that's where the Earth ponies lived. And then you had, like, Unicornia and Pegasopolis or whatever. It was all very stupid. But for some reason they decided to make that a thing again, in a way, and I'm really not comfy with it. But whatever. Okay, I know I don't need one more, but I'd like one more to be comfortable. Just call it my paranoia or whatever. Because I definitely have enough to fill up a portal frame, you know? But regardless, like, and it just kind of felt bland. It very much felt like a by committee thing. Which isn't always a bad thing, but in this case, it was. Alrighty. I can't believe there was only one diamond in that vein. That's obnoxious. Bop. 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 Ba-da-ba-da. Alrighty, let's go, my lovelies. Alright, let's see. Where am I like that I've scrolled past my torch like 5 times. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. But yeah, like, I am like the ideal person to market that towards, so it kind of annoyed me that, like, it very much just felt like it was like they didn't really care about what they were making. Which, I mean, you're allowed to do that. I don't care so much about that. It's more the way they went about it that annoyed me. Oh, hang on. This is the up. Alright, let's go. Bow, bow. Okay, good. Alright. Up we go, my loves. Alright. Alright. Good. And now to figure out a better place to hide the nether portal. Because I think I just want to inset it into a wall somewhere. Right? It's just a matter of, like, where do I want to do that? Like, I kind of like this area back here. There's a dished area back here that I think would work. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this'll do. Actually, I might not even inset it into a wall. I might just set it, like, right there. And I'll go make a flint and steel in a sec. Alright. Let's go ahead and light this area up, just so we don't have any, like, nasty surprises waiting for us on our times that we come back. Alright, cool. Yes, thank you. Alright. Okay. 2, 3. Ah, no. I'll fix it in a second. That is the wrong pickaxe. Alright, good. Okay, cool. Pow, pow, pow. Very nice. Oh. Okay, cool. Alright. And I don't think... Oh, I do have flint on me. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't think I have any flint on me. So, I'm just gonna light it. I've already got my gold prepped. But, ideally... Oh. I'd like to, like... get a little bit more in the way of armor other than iron before I head to the nether. Like, I'd actually like to get my gold pieces. Or, I mean, my diamond pieces. But anyway, I might poke my head through and then poke my head back. But what I want to do for that is, one, I want to make sure it's, you know, that it's, daytime. But I also want to, have gold on me, you know, chat, you know. Hang on, let me go put these diamonds away. I also don't have an ender chest to, like, hide them in. Alright, good, that could go there, the iron could go here. Alright, good, good, good. We just gotta wait for night now, because I do not fancy having to deal with, mobs while I'm, you know, doing the thing. And we do have it set up so that, as long as one person sleeps, the whole server resets, which is good because that happens quite often. Especially with me, because I'm regularly, like, on really, like, weird hours. Either super early or Did I seriously have enough iron to make me have a perfect stack? That's funny. That's cute. Anyway, let's go put the rest of the crap that's in my inventory away. Bow, 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 bow. Alright, that can go away, that can go away. The miscellaneous blocks can go away. Alright, good. Don't ask me why there's a random set of shears in there. I cannot answer you. Because I myself am not entirely sure why I have just an entirely random set of shears. Ba-da-ba-ba. Okay. Alrighty, my dears. Oh, time to traumatize Rambo fans. Alrighty. Let's see. Alright, good, good, good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Oh. Hello. There are more people on than I expected there to be. Alrighty. Alrighty, cool, cool, cool. Alrighty, let's go. Bow. Ba-da ba-da ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da. Ba-now. Ba-now. Wow. Alrighty, very good. Very, very good. Okay. Let's go make our thing. Let's go work on our portal. Or, I mean, poke our head through our portal. Just so we could get the nether going. Very good, very pog. Alright. Let's go. Yep. Alright. Just want to poke my head in. Oh, really? Oh, that's a sucky spawn. Alrighty. Okay, anyway. Now we know where we have spawned. It kinda sucks, but eh. At least we don't have to deal with hoglins. But that does mean we are gonna have to, if we do our netherite mine in there, we are gonna have to, we are gonna have to light up the hallway so skeletons don't spawn. Good, good, good. Alright. Let's go back down to mine for more diamonds. Because we need a diamond set before I'm comfortable going down. Alrighty, and no one's really got villagers yet, so I don't have any access to Mended. But, it is what it is. Alright, let us go. Bow, 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 bow. Down into the earth. Down into the mines, flying down this rampart. Poor Tyatic. Or Tadic. I forget how you say their name. Alright, let's go, my loves. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Alright. But yeah, it makes sense now why there's so stinking much lava, considering that that massive lava field was under it. Or above us. Pow, 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 pow. Very good. Very good, very pog. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Man out, bow, bow. Man out, bow, bow. Alrighty, very good. Nice. Alright, I thought I had exactly 64, but apparently no, I still have a small stack of 20. Oh my goodness gracious. Why am I so tired today, chat? What is with my brain today? I'm just excited. I'm happy I'm back on the SMP. Or ASMP. Alrighty, alrighty. Let us be on our way. Brown, 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 brown. Okay, cool, cool. And it took everything in my power to resist building with, like, pure deep slate again, because, like, you get a lot of it. It's cool. It makes a good sound. And it would be completely even more out of place than the construction already is, because it's got a little bit of deep slate, like, inset into some of the quote-unquote windows where the windows were boarded up. But my previous build obviously is almost solid deep slate. Oh, there we go. Finally, that's one of the ones that I wondered why I wasn't playing for the longest time was your best nightmare. Oh, the trauma. The trauma from this song. This song. Oh, the trauma. Alright, let's go. That is my sword. No, thank you, please. Alright, cool. Oh, I forgot that in the actual version that it doesn't go back into in between. It just plays them all in a row. Because the song loops by that point. So, anyway. Hello, Copper. Not what I'm after, but well, I mean, it'll do until the song itself changes. My fear here is lava. Alright, cool. But if I have copper, I might be able to trade with some other members of the server for it. I believe this is the frying pan weapon. Because everything in this section is based on the previous kids in Undertale, for those of you who haven't played Undertale. So it's all their weapons that they left that you have now found. Like, there's ballet slippers, there's a frying pan, there's like an old broken gun, there's the knife, obviously, there's, I believe it's a book, and, hang on, let me see, knife, frying pan, ballet slippers, book, broken gun, what's the sixth one? I'm forgetting one. Oh shoot. I don't remember, chat. Anyway, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Because, like, Undertale is a long old game by now, but, like, well, not old, long old. It's oldish. It's 2015. But anyway. Alright, what is that other one? It's gonna bug me. Because, like, I'm trying to remember all of the attacks. Oh gosh darn it. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but whatever. I also think that Omega Flowey was, like, an ingeniously designed final boss. Like, even though he's not the final boss, obviously, if you want to play the true pacifist and then the genocide run, he's really hard, but in all the right ways. He never felt unfair at any point. And they make him justifiably horrifying, and I personally think that his design is based on a creature from one of the Metroid games called, I believe it was called the Nightmare. But you can see its design, its like silhouette go through in the background before you ever see it. And it's kind of got a similar structure to Omega Flowey, where it's got like the longish arms, it's got the squarish body. It just looks very much like Omega Flowey. And it's terrifying. It's grotesque, and like, it's like face melts off, like, as you... These guys are having a little bit of a struggle. I only would... you has to sleep to reset. I'm underground right now. Anyway, pow, 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 pow. Alright, let's go, my loves. But yeah, I think that Omega Flowey is a genius final boss, like... And I like that, like, the more you die, the further it pushes that narrative of insanity. Where it just feels like you're slowly losing your grip more and more. And same thing with, his final form with Azrael. Like, I also think he serves a very similar function in terms of the more you lose to him, the more it drives that narrative of, you know, you're never coming back, you're never waking up, like that kind of thing. Alrighty. I'm not hearing lava pops, but that actually makes me nervous, because I'm nervous that, like, there is lava, it's just not, the alert isn't sounded. But, it's fine. But then again, I think that Undertale in general is an ingeniously designed game, especially for what it is. Like, let's be completely honest with ourselves. Undertale is functionally an RPG Maker game. It is a game that was made by someone who didn't have a lot of video game know-how, wanted a game to exist, wanted to see a game in the world, and made it. Like, that is what makes Undertale so awesome, is it feels like a game made by someone who desperately wanted to see it in the world. Like, it doesn't feel like it's there just because it needs to or not needs to exist, but there because, like, money or whatever. Like, it genuinely felt, and this is what early Undertale, or early Minecraft felt like too, right? Like, early Minecraft also very much felt like a game that was made because somebody wanted to see it in the world, rather than it would just be financially profitable. Alright, just gotta be a little cautious because lava. Okay. Oh gosh darn it, come back here. But, Undertale very much felt like a game that was made by somebody who had a very deep passion and needed to see this game in the world. And same thing with Deltarune. It, like, yes, people were technically asking for a sequel to Undertale. They weren't asking for a game that was just basically a spiritual successor, where it's like, yes, it's a lot of the same characters, but it is not the same game. Because, by the way, that was a huge risk to do, because, like, we already loved all the characters from the original, and making it so that we barely spent any time with them, and not only that, but they were in completely different roles, is, like, wild. Like, that was such a huge risk for him to do, and he didn't need to do that. If he had made just, like, a sequel, everyone would have been fine with it. Now, mind you, I do think he did this in a very intentional way, because I think he intentionally understood that if he did an Undertale sequel and people weren't satisfied, that, like, it would be a lot bigger of a problem than if he did it this way. So I think his goal, right? I can't read minds, obviously. But what I think Toby's goal was, and what he achieved with Deltarune, was he wanted to make a game that, if people didn't like it as much, it'd be okay, because it didn't directly impact Undertale's general story, because it wasn't directly attached to Undertale, right? So I think that that was why Deltarune was done like it was so we could have that kind of plausible deniability if the game flopped. And obviously, like, he hasn't made it to the point that we're going to pay for it yet. Obviously, it's going to be more expensive because it's a lot longer. But I think it'll be worth it. And I'm glad the next installations are coming out kind of all grouped together. All except for the last one are coming out all in a group. All I know was I was very annoyed because my partner also played Deltarune, and they got through the Queen's final phases way faster than me. And I was they were like, I died once, and I'm like, I died like 10, 12 times! I was so annoyed. Now, mind you, I was streaming, so, like, streaming does do stupid stuff to your brain. Like, I call it streamer brain for a reason. What is this? Oh, it's a card from an artist. I saw something that said Lichgate, and I was like, what? At least I think it says that. Or Lichgate, sorry. I've got food on the brain, clearly. Fun fact, Lichgate is the artist that made... I have my pin lanyard that I take, like, I never go hardly at all anymore, but back when I went to Disney really frequently when I lived with my mom, it's my trade and pin lanyard, and for those of you who know nothing about Disney trade and pins, because I'm an absolute dweeb for Disney trade and pins, matter of fact, I can tell you all the cute stories, and I think that's what I'm gonna do today about, like, how I got into it and stuff, but, because of how heavy the pins can get, because they're metal pins, a lot of people who trade pins regularly that have them on a lanyard will have a weight at the end of their lanyard to weigh down the bottom so it doesn't bunch up really weird. And I have that too, except I didn't have a lot of pin weight on it, or I didn't have a lot of weight on it, because all I had was, like, a tiny pewter Keyblade keychain, a Assassination Classroom keychain, and that was it. So my partner, after making me watch the 2008 Clone Wars and making me completely fall head over heels in love with Wrecker the Clone, because I adore that man. He's got big, dumb energy, and I adore him. And my partner saw that, so they got me a keychain of him from this artist whose username is LYCHGATE, Lichgate on Etsy, and on Twitter it's Butt Cheek Wizard, which is like amazing. But so how I got into Disney Pin Traded, this was back when my folks were together, and so like we're able to like, because I even though I'm not like financially really that well off, my parents are, specifically my mom. So back when they were both together, they had even more money. So one of the things we used to do is we would like once a year go on the Disney cruise, because it's one of those things where like everything is all included. It's got like included there's a whole like, she could break down entirely why she decided on the Disney cruise, aside from the fact that it's like a very child friendly cruise line. But when I was there, I vividly remember making a random friend on the boat. Don't remember their name. It was not the same time that I made a friend who had my name just spelled differently, my dead name. So I'm not gonna say what it is, but this random friend, let's call her Jenna or something. Jenna and I went down because our parents basically gave us pocket money. So we went down to, if as I recall it, it was like a combination of a jewelry shop and a Disney gift shop, as I recall it. And so they had pins, and they had this gorgeous pin. It was enormous. It was Aristocrats, and it was like a big velvet pillow design with Duchess and the 3 kittens on it. And it was an extremely rare limited edition. As in, this pin probably cost them $50 to get. Now, mind you, this child didn't know what they had. And so, and when I say it's rare, I believe it was less than 100 limited edition, as I recall. It was stupid rare. But it was being sold directly by the shop, so they didn't, like, have it at the super rare prices quite yet. Like, they still had it expensive, but not, like, the stupid rare prices. I'm just gonna let that be. But so, as we were coming out of the jewelry store, this one guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, would you like to trade pins?" And he expressed interest in that one. It was starting to hand them, like, just a normal pin for it. And some dude, our hero, comes out of nowhere. Some older guy comes out, chases this dude off, and says, "I want you to know that he was 100% trying to take this off of you because you guys are stupid kids who have just started. Let me explain to you why he tried to do that." And he basically sat down and he explained to us just how rare this pin was, and the fact that this guy was trying to basically get it for free off of them to resell it. And he sat down and over the course of like 30 minutes explained to us the logistics of pin trading. I don't remember if it was a cast member. It might have been. But regardless, is there more lava than that? Okay. Regardless of who he was, what he was, he basically sat down and explained to us the art of pin trading and why you have to be really careful and to always check the back to see if it's limited edition, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it just lit a fire under me, and I have some really rare pins. I think my most limited edition is out of 1,000. Like, and when I say limited edition, I mean, like, that's how many there are in the world. Like, there's only 1,000 in the whole world. As a matter of fact, as I recall, they actually have recently stopped doing the limited edition thing because it was getting ugly. Like, it was bringing out, like, the worst in people. But yeah, so, like, There was that. There was a whole year where all I did was try to collect Stitch pins, and my goal, right, was to collect all of them until my mom sat me down and was like, Logan, sweetie, I love you. You are never going to be able to collect all the Stitch pins, especially because this was, like, at the height of Stitch's popularity as a character. Like, it was when all the stuff was being added to the parks of him. The movie had just kind of come out, I think. So it was, like, around 2005-ish. So there was like a whole year where all I did was want to collect Stitch pins. And I still have some that I keep on my lanyard. Like, I have a limited edition St. Patrick's Day Stitch pin that I have literally locked physically onto my lanyard, so it cannot come off. Because that's the other, like, 5-head move, is to, like, if there's one that you're not sure you want to trade, like, always put it in a locked position so that you physically cannot remove it unless you have your little key fob or whatever. But beyond that, there was also a literal year. So I have them actually stored away at this point because literally I was so angry about this situation. I don't think they're on my lanyard anymore. I might actually put them back on because I'm very proud of them. But there was one year that they released, because sometimes they release pins in sets that match, right? There was one year that they released a pair of pins that was in the shape of a yin-yang, and it was a best friends pin set with Copper and Todd from The Fox and the Hound on them. And I had Copper first. Did not realize that it was a match set, even though it literally said best, and then the other would have said friends, so stupid child me should have completely understood that there was going to be another side, but whatever, I was younger at the time. So I traded away Copper, right? Or, I'm sorry, I think I had Todd first. I don't remember who I had first, but whoever I had, I traded them away on a whim. And then I got the other one. So then, of course, I wanted the set, now that I know it's a set, right? Well, here's the thing. They discontinued that pin set immediately after I made that decision. It took a year and a half to find the other pair. And what I had to do, I didn't even find it on a cast member's lanyard, because cast members can't tell you no, fun fact. As far as, like, both in general and with, Disney pin trading, but also please treat your cast members nicely. They are only allowed to trade you one pin, like, per interaction. Like, don't treat your cast members poorly. They do not get paid enough to deal with, like, entitled Disney pin traders. Like, period, full stop. But what I had to do was I actually ended up having to find, I believe I was at Downtown Disney. There will be people that set up there that are, like, they can set up on these tables that are, like, designed for pin trading, and they are not affiliated with Disney. So I actually vividly remember I had to give him, like, 2 pins in order for him to give me this one. Now, mind you, this guy was very sweet, because I actually had come back and traded with this guy a couple of times before that, and he knew I was looking for them. So I walked over to him this one trip, and I vividly remember I could tell in his eyes he had it. I could tell. And he said, "You ready for your other one?" And I'm like, yes! I was so excited. Let me see what the rarest ones I have on my lanyard currently are. Because I'll typically take off any extremely rare pins. Hang on. All of them are locked. I have a couple of Kingdom Hearts pins on here. One that's just generic and boring, and then I have the one that was literally limited only to if you bought this special box set of Kingdom Hearts 3. That one's locked, and I had somebody ask me about that. I'm like, ha! No. I have the 2010 St. Pat's. The Stitch one is a limited out of 4,500. Some of them aren't rare. I just like them because I like them. Like, I have a Revolve and Maleficent one that's, it can flip between her and her dragon. But my other rare ones are all hidden away somewhere in a drawer, and in, like, special places so I can't do stupid crap with them. But the other thing, if you ever want to get into Disney pin trading, my dear viewers, that I highly recommend is have a trade side and have a non-trade side. Basically, have a side where you literally don't care what happens with that side. Like, legitimately, and the reason you set it up like that, right, is because
Kids also really like to trade, so I will literally show them my trader side and say anything on this side you can have. Because the fact that I don't care about what happens to the trade side, that makes it way easier to say than to like point at this. Oh, you can have this one, but not this one, and this one, but not this one. It makes it much easier for kids to access the hobby, um, and I genuinely just adore Disney pin trade, and it's one of my favorite things to do, like point blank period. When I go, the only thing that stinks is because a lot of the pins I like are really big, they get really heavy. I will collect pins specifically with rarer characters on them. Like I have one with Brer Rabbit on here that is a limited. It was a limited release. They don't tell you how many. This is after they started realizing, hey, we're creating kind of a toxic environment with these limited edition pins. Um, but one of the things I do collect with Disney pins, specifically that I collect because of how rare the franchise is anything to do with Black Cauldron. Absolutely anything to do with Black Cauldron. If I see it, I will grab it immediately. Especially if I see it on a cast member's lanyard, because I don't really like paying for pins. Like I'll pay for really cheap ones at like. There's a lot of Walmarts in the area that'll sell like super like generic but official. They're still official, and that's important because you can only officially trade Disney pins with Disney. Um, super generic, like bottom of the barrel Disney pins, and they'll sell them for like dirt cheap. So I'll buy those because the whole point to me buying pins is I'm buying to stock up because I've run out of pins I want to trade, right? Like that's the whole reason I'm gonna end up needed to trade pins is because or needed to buy pins is because I've run out of ones that I'm willing to trade. Um, but because of that, it does kind of lead to this point where I'm like, well, now what do I do? So a lot of my recommendation, if you ever go to Disney and you run out of trading pins, just go to the WalMarts in the area. There's one that's for some reason has a red side instead of a blue side. Don't ask me why. They have a huge selection of super duper cheap Disney pins for you to select from. Um, and I highly recommend doing that because that way it's not like some super rare stuff or you don't really care what happens to it. Like, it's just a very advisable decision to like get a bunch of cheap Disney pins to trade so that you don't feel like obligated to keep something because of the amount of money it costs you. Um, but the one I've completely did I say it was Black Cauldron? Black Cauldron is the one that I will collect no matter what I see, and I actually have one that was from I believe it was oh shoot I think it's from one of the overseas parks. I have a couple from the overseas park, like I have a couple from Shanghai Disneyland and stuff. But I think this one may have been from an overseas park because they like Black Cauldron overseas a little more than the States did. But it was one for some international boss holiday, and it's got the Horned King on it. Which most of the time when you get Black Cauldron pins, it's either gonna have the boy or the girl. I forget their names. It doesn't really matter to me. Or I also forget what the little like critter was called, but I think his name is Gertie. Uh, but the little fluffy creature, uh, those are usually the ones that you will see on pins for Black Cauldron. So the fact that I saw the Horned King, I about flipped out. I about lost my cool. And thankfully it was on a Disney, like a cast member's pin. Because like I said, if it's on their lanyard, while they can swap them out for pins that they have in their pocket, if it's on their lanyard and you see it, you have to trade because they think about it this way. Think about a cast member saying no to a child. Also, by the way, if you see the green lanyards, those are child exclusive lanyards. Do not trade with those people. I know who you are. I've seen you. That is such a jerk move. The green lanyard is 12 and under, please. Like that is literally set in place so that kids can have their fun because they know that Disney adults are going to ruin it. Well, I guess I could just do this. Anyway. But, but yeah, so Pin trading is one of my great joys in life, like, genuinely. I don't know what it is about the shiny little pieces of metal, they just make my heart happy. It kind of reminds me of that clip of Pokemon that's been going around of Jesse going, well, sell them, we can make so much money, and he's like, I don't like them because they are expensive. I like them because they make me happy. Why are you always in it for the money? Like, that's what it reminds me of. But, and I will like I said, I'll very rarely pay for a pin, but when I do, it's usually one that, like, is pretty much either a store exclusive or I buy to match. Like, I have one from, so there's a shop outside of, Haunted Mansion in Disney World called Memento Mori. It used to be, fun fact, if you want a real deep cut, that shop used to be, the Memento Mori shop used to be just a little pushcart stand. What was where the shop is now was a Yankee Candle store that they used to have a brand deal with, but never did well. That Yankee Candle store never did well. Because again, the whole thing is like, now I'll tell you how, if I wanted to make that Yankee Candle store successful, how I would have done it. What I would have done if I'm assuming Eisner put that in place because Eisner did a lot of stupid crap around the parks. But if I wanted to make that a successful shop, what I would have done is I would have made it so that there were certain Yankee Candle scents that you could only buy at the Memento Mori, right? Specifically, either Disney-themed scents, right? Or just literal scents that you could only get there because candle people are crazy. So if they're, and I know this because one of my great joys is going through and watching, like, people leaving angry Bath & Body Works reviews. Specifically, there was that one of that lady in, I believe, North Carolina, literally losing her mind over them not having an available candle, and everyone's like, but you said you already have it, and she's like, yes, but I want 6, I don't want 5. Like, she was nuts. So, like, if I wanted to make a Yankee Candle store successful at Disney, just gonna say, the smart thing to do would be to make it have exclusive smells. Because, like, seriously, why wouldn't you do that? That's the whole point of having brand deals in limited locations like that, is to force people to have to pay ticket price if this is something they want that desperately, right? Well, either that or wait for the scalpers to buy it and put it on eBay. Which, by the way, if you're a scalper, I don't like you. For those of you who are unawares of what a scalper is, it's, you know, somebody who buys a bunch of something and then it goes and buys it or sells it on eBay for, like, an inflated price. Like, if you do that, I genuinely don't like you. Because, like, I don't have an issue with people going and selling something for higher than it costs, but, like, only having a couple. Because, like, they just, you know, just saw it as a way to make money. But people who literally will go by and... Fun fact, when they announced that Splash Mountain was getting redesigned to a new theme, considering how, you know, insensitive the current theme is, even though, like, they tried to take it away from its roots, but it's still extremely insensitive. Because, for those of you who have ridden the ride, it was not a beehive that Brer Fox originally used to trap Brer Rabbit. I will not say what the original was, just know that it is the original in Song of the South, and it is extremely insensitive. Regardless. But when they announced the retheme, scalpers who knew that the retheme was coming went and bought up every single Splash Mountain themed thing, like all the plushies and stuff, and are just sitting on them to wait to sell once everything goes out. Because, there is literal photos of people with entire bags of Brer Rabbit plushies over their shoulder, walking down the way past, Adventureland in order to, like, get back to their hotel or whatever. And when I say bags, I mean massive, like, groceries, or not grocery store, but, like, restaurant-size garbage bags, like the big clear ones. It is absolutely mind-boggling to me, the people that will just go in and make, like, a career out of buying up everything, forcing a scarcity, and then just sell it at extremely inflated prices. And you see it happen with the Squishmallow community, too. Because, like, and I'll tell you, back when Beanie Babies were a thing, if this had been a trend when Beanie Babies were a thing, it would have happened with Beanie Babies, too. Because Beanie Babies, right? The reason why a lot of the initial Beanie Babies were actually rare and valuable, like the initial like elephant and stuff. I don't remember if his name is. There's one named Rocket that I know is pretty rare. But the reason that those were even rare at all is because the initial creator of Beanie Babies did it in a very smart way, and he artificially created scarcity by making them limited release every time. And, right, like, nowadays, because once the Beanie Babies got popular, he couldn't really justify only making, like, 1,000 and then selling them, because, like, then he would have absolutely no stock, right? At the time, that was the business strategy, was to create not an artificial scarcity, but just create scarcity. And so that was a legitimate way to do it. But now, scalpers are artificially forcing this by going and buying up all of them around them, so that anytime anyone wants a Squishmallow, whether it's a kid or not, you basically have this situation of, well, little Timmy, Marianne down the street went and bought all the Squishmallows, so now we have to go on to eBay and buy it for like $100 for a single $12 stuffed animal. And it's insane to me, because the same thing happened with the Axolotl at Build-A-Bear. And obvious... Poor Tyanek. Poor Tyanek. The other thing that does drive me up an absolute wall is, when people misunderstand what is going to make something collectible. Like, just because something is marked as collectible doesn't mean it's going to be. And right, like, I don't have an eye for this stuff right away. I'll tell you who does. My sister-in-law has a crazy eye for what's going to eventually become a really valuable collectible. Like, they are so pinpoint accurate on their, like, that. Like, for example, back when the Avengers toys were released, they found a Walmart near us that had the full set of toys, and they were willing to sell them 2 full sets, because their owner already had 2 full sets in her car, and they were like, that, and obviously Avengers will sell well no matter what, especially if you have a full set. So they immediately were like, ding, ding, but they have some really cool stuff in their house, that, like, as somebody who not is a hardcore collector, but, like, as a collector in general, are super cool to see. For example, back when Harry Potter was very first becoming popular, they actually have the shirts from before they realized it was going to become a success, aka back when it was only the book art, like before the movies released. They have a bunch of shirts that have the old school art on them, because at the time, some relative of theirs worked at, I believe it was Walmart. It was some big box store, and their relative was like, ended up buying them a bunch of these Harry Potter shirts because they were really obsessed with them. And when I tell you, I am still so jealous of some of those shirts, but they're way too small and wouldn't fit me. Because, like, but also, the other reason is because I know if I buy it from them, the money is not going into a certain someone's pocket. So I'd rather actually pay a scalper for, and they're not a scalper, obviously. Like, they don't do it, like, deeply, intensely, like, go up to all the stores and buy every single stuffed animal, with the intention. Like, they do it in small batches. They're the ones that I don't have a problem with. And matter of fact, they talked about at some point, the reason that they do it this way is because they are a collector. So they were like, I got so tired of being a scalper that I decided if I was ever going to scalp, it was going to be, you know, basically for the forces of good, for lack of a better term. I also had to explain to them how to offload pony stuff, because they had a whole set of pony plushies, and they could not offload them, and I'm like, well, how are you selling them? And they said, well, I'm selling them as a set, and I'm like, well, that's your problem, because, again, I was very deeply entrenched in the My Little Pony community, and I said, the My Little Pony community works a little weird in terms of collectibles, because they don't really care about sets, they only care about their favorite. So I was like, just sell them individually, and they'll sell, and they offloaded them almost immediately. Because yes, that is kind of the weirdness about the My Little Pony community, especially at the time, is that Brodies really didn't work like traditional collectors and want like full sets or whatever. They wanted their favorite, and that's all they cared about. Um, it was kind of a weird thing that. And also, the other reason that that's a much easier way to offload stuff like My Little Pony is because parents will be looking for their kids, and the parents aren't going to want to buy for the full set. So then you're netting both demographics. But the other cool thing that they had, that my sister-in-law had from the OG Harry Potter era before it got a movie, was they had these like collectible soaps, and it was really sad when we found them because we were helping them move, and basically what had happened was the reason they were moving was their parents basically offloaded this house onto them without really saying do you want it. They just shoved it onto them, and then they were left with the responsibility of selling once they needed to, move, which I don't want to talk about my sister-in-law's parents. I get very heated when it comes to that, because I think that they've treated my sister-in-law extremely poorly, and they are not very nice people, but that is what I'm going to say, because, yeah, I don't want to get into it. I will genuinely get heated if I talk about my in-laws, and not on my spouse's side, on my brother's side, but, basically, this house had a lot wrong with it. Like, this area in general had a lot wrong with the buildings, because it was in Florida, and there was like a ton of like issues with water damage, and the reason they ended up really having to sell when they did is because their house basically got a black mold infestation because of how the house was built, and like some of the like shoddier stuff that their parents did not bother to fix. But again, regardless, I don't need that right now. They ended up having a leak spring under the sink that those decorative soaps were kept in, and I felt really bad because they were completely destroyed. And if they tried to sell those now, they would probably make so much money. Like, those are like those kinds of things that like are rare because the thing was not popular yet, right? Like, it is rare out of literal like the actual reason why certain collectibles are rare, like just pure rarity. But yeah, I felt really, really bad when they found those, because they were like really sad. Because it basically came down to, we cannot keep these. They're literally turning into puddles of goo. They just, you gotta throw them out. I felt so bad. And I've since gotten, not rid of it, but like, I've donated it because it was way too small to fit me. But they actually had a 1999 Pikachu shirt that I took. Now, mind you, it wasn't really collectible worthy, which is why I didn't try to sell it, because it had a couple of stains and stuff. But I've asked them, hey, if I ever have any of my collectible stuff that I want to eventually offload, like, for example, there was Disney at one point did a line of Christmas hats with like character ears, and it was back at the OG height where they were just starting to make Stitch stuff, and I got the Stitch ears from that. And apparently they've either never made one since, or the ones they made since are very obvious to tell, but the one that I have is very rare. So my mom actually had someone walk up to her, like a Disney adult or something, walk up to her at a park while I had her wear it for a festival or whatever, and he literally said, "I will give you $5,000 for that." They had the SpongeBob thing, "I'll give you $1 million for that hat." But I've literally said, if I ever want to sell this hat, can I tap you for that? And they're like, sure. Because I don't really understand the wiles and whims of eBay. Because, frankly, eBay scares me. But they're a really cool person, my sister-in-law. And, like, they have such cool stuff at their place. Like I said, they have a really good eye for what will become a collectible and become valuable. And whether or not they do it just for the reasons of selling it or just because they just have this weird innate sixth sense, and once they need to downsize, they just are like, okay, well now I can sell all these, is beyond me. Because, like, for example, one of the things that they had that they actually made a decent chunk of change off of, if I recall, was like an OG set of Campbell's soup bowls, like those big ones that could fit an entire can of soup or whatever. They had like an OG set of those and were able to get a fair chunk out of that. But yeah, and also they just collect because they love collecting, right? Like, at the end of the day, I think it's weird people who collect with the intention of eventually making money, because, like, you can never be sure that a collectible is going to make money, especially if it's marketed as a collectible. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me. And to me, honestly, the really weird collectibles are things like candles, things that are, like, meant to be, like, not just used, but used in such a way that they will eventually not be able to be used again. Like I said, for example, candles. Because, like, Bath and Body Works collectors are kinda scary, not gonna lie. Like I was saying earlier. But, it's just one of those things where I'm also like, there's no possible way you could use all of those. So what does it do? Does it just, like, stink up a room in your house because of the cold throw? Because some candles still have a really potent cold throw. But it's just kind of interesting to me to see the dynamics of that. Especially with, like, you know the crap that's making me angry right now? The Pokemon Oreos, right? So, like, everyone's kind of treating the Mew Oreo like it's super rare when it's really not that rare. And I've genuinely seen food is another one that I think is... I understand the packaging of the food being the collectible item. What I don't understand is the food itself being the collectible item, right? Like, that's really weird. So when people will sell, like, an individual Oreo, because it's got Mew on it, or, like, whatever, like, I get the packaging. Again, I understand the packaging. That is not something that I don't understand why that's a collectible. That is just a genuine, that makes sense, because, you know... the package has got the Pokemon on it, it's being done for, like, an anniversary or whatever, blah, 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 blah. That makes sense. Like, there's actually someone on TikTok who, their specific collection is not just Pokemon, but Pokemon-related foodstuffs. And specifically, they collect more from the 90s era, but they, like, any, like, food packaging displays, anything like that, but not the food so much itself. Like, some of the boxes they buy are empty, some of the boxes they buy still have stuff, as long as it's not, like, rotten or whatever. Like, some of their... I know that they have a couple of the macaroni boxes that are full, because, like, pasta doesn't really... I wouldn't eat it, but it doesn't really go bad in such a way that you couldn't, like, keep the box with pasta in it and just have it there. But, like, stuff like that. Packaging makes sense. Food does not. But I've genuinely seen people selling the Mew print of the Oreo for like $1,000 just for the single Oreo. But then you also have the people who are like legitimately like, I don't care, it's a Mew Oreo, here, give me $6. It'll pay for the cost of what I paid for the food, functionally. Like, I don't care about that. It's the ones that's like, yes, this hyper rare Mew Oreo, give me $1,000. And it's like, pardonnez-moi. You did what now? Why are you asking $1,000 for an Oreo? And what makes me even sadder are the people who are collectors and need complete collections, and because of the way that the collectors community is right now, they'll basically be like, well, I need a complete collection, and even though I know this is a scalp, I need to, you know, buy it. Because that's what my sister-in-law had happen for a long time, was my sister-in-law they were the type who liked complete sets, so they would intentionally, like, buy in such a way that they could get complete sets, which is why they had to encounter scalpers a lot, because if they wanted the complete bit of their collection, they would need to interact with scalpers. And I, like, viscerally remember them saying, one day I plan to scalp the scalpers, was their comment. And I felt so bad for them because, like, again, I don't take collected too seriously, but, like, I understand the pain, you know, when it's like, this is all I want, and it's the only offer up on it is, like, for this much. Like, I know that happened a lot. I don't collect physically very often, but I will collect digitally. So, for example, one of the games that I play very heavily is called Flight Horizon, and it's basically Neopets, but with just dragons. And I was on since a month after the initial release. And the one familiar that I don't have, that at this point I've given up on because there were so few people on the server at the time that it's extremely rare, was the pet from the very first holiday, which was, I believe it was called a Light Sprite. And whenever it goes up now, fun fact, there was actually somebody who very nearly, I remember when this happened, they very nearly lost everything that they had because, in an investment in this pet, because what had happened was they accidentally they were planning on putting up for like, 7,000, gold or something, or 7,000 gems, but they put it up for gold. Gems is the premium currency. Gold is the generic currency, and these things usually go for multiple million gold. But because it's so rare, ow, sorry, but basically no one was looking for it at the time because so few people put it up that it sat for a full 7 days without someone looking it up at 7,000 gold. And so it was absolutely wild. They got very, very lucky, basically. What was I trying to decide whether or not I wanted to do? Oh, okay. Alrighty, bow, bow. Bow. Alrighty, good. I'm running really low on torches, so I'm gonna go ahead and head back. But yeah, like, I collect digitally, but not physically, is basically what it comes down to, because I don't have a ton of space, and the only things I collect are things that bring me joy, so things that I don't have to treat with kid gloves. Like, it angers me every time someone gets really pretentious over, like, Pops or any toy figure, because when I collect, I do not intend to collect with the intention of it going back to somebody eventually. It will always stay with me. Or I will give it to, like, a kid or someone that, you know, like, will get enjoyment out of it because it's a toy. It's kind of like, you've probably heard every single toy collector that doesn't keep their stuff in box deal with this. But the people who are like, it loses value if it's not a box. To me, the value is the toy itself out of box. Also, especially when I was collecting dolls and, like, My Little Ponies, do you understand how ugly the in-box hair is? It is atrocious. And when I tell you that, like, part of the point of why I take them out of box is literally to make them look nicer, I'm not lying. It's either to pose them more nicely, or so that they don't look like they're just strapped into, like, a box. Or, you know, in the case of things with hair, it's so that I can, you know, actually have, like, a decent, please die. There we go. So that I can have a decent, like, looking display piece. That creeper's making me nervous. And I also, it's like, it's my toys, why do you care? Like, at the end of the day, when people get really uppity about folks, like, Please close. I'm just a little nervous about the creeper. But when people get really uppity about, oh, you should collect your toys in a certain way, and it's like, how about you collect my foot up your butt and leave me alone about how I choose to collect my toys? It's obnoxious, and I hate it when people get pretentious over stuff like that, because it's like, it's always the pointless crap, too, that they get pretentious over. Like, it's like, this is hurting no one. I don't care. But yeah, I could go on and on about, like, everything that I think is wrong with the collectible community, but, like, we'd be here for hours. But then again, we'd be here for hours regardless, because I could talk for hours about literally anything. It's my superpower. Oof, sorry, still got the burps. Alright, be gone, be gone. Alright, cool. Sorry, I tripped over my own words. Alright, let's see. It's kind of funny that it played those back to back, because those are kind of conjoined songs. Let's see. I'm gonna start putting... Well, I actually need that coal for torches in a bit. Also, when I tell you that one of the things that affected me the most in Deltarune 2 was the like hint of papyrus that we got, where it was like you could faintly hear the Trouselin getting closer or something like that. Oh, my little heart. Because I love Papyrus. Like, Papyrus reminds me very much of who I was when I was young. So he just, oh, my little heart, it dies. Every time it dies for him. Okay. Let's see. I do need to eventually start thinking about making diamond armor. I'd really like to get a fortune pickaxe, if I can. But that means I need to, you know, go the cows. Get closed, please. Let's see if that creeper's still over there, or if he despawned. Creeper, anywhere, Minecraft script reaper, blah, blah. No? Are we good? I think we're good, chat. Okay. Let me go grab some wheat. Y'all have been here for a while. Are y'all alright? This, wandering trader and such. Alrighty. Alrighty. Alright, good. I do need to get more access to trees. Like, I need to build a better tree farm at some point. But, I'm lazy. Alrighty, good, and then you, come here. Bow. Very good, very pog. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go grab some of this. Good. Alright. Hello, my friends. I also need to see if I can get a silk-touched grass block so I can actually, like, get some sheep in here and have them be able to regen their wool. Alrighty, cool. Alright, are we all good? Have we all had our babies? Can I go ahead and burk? Hip. This is probably gonna break in a second. Hip. Yup. Alright, there it went. Oh, I got cow head. Cool. Again, I'm pretty sure this is from a mod, but I don't care. It means I can keep a trophy room. This is, again, what I mean about digital collecting. Because I do this in Terraria, especially, like, the amount of banners I have in Terraria is kind of embarrassing. And most of my banners I built up before, they automatically gave them to you every 50, mobs killed. Not just saying that because I'm stupid proud of it, but, you know. And by that I mean I'm 100% saying it because I'm stupid proud. Alright, let's go. Let's grab the spare book that we have in here. Hip bow, and hip bow. Very good. Alright, cool. I also, at some point, I'm gonna need to make, like... Well, actually, I don't know if the end is enabled on this server. To my knowledge, it's not, but I have no earthly clue. Alrighty. Bow, bow, bow. Put those away. Because we don't need them right now. Alright, let's go put our bookshelf down and make a new axe. Bow, 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 bow. Very good, very good. Alrighty, good. Oh, you know what else I needed to do with that obsidian that I forgot to do with that obsidian, chat? You know what I needed to do? I needed to make an enchantment table, and I didn't grab enough for it. How much do I need for an enchantment table? I think I need 4. I think I could actually go salvage that from the quarters. Hang on, let me see if it's in my recipe book yet. It is not. I am pretty sure I need 4, however. And a book, so let me go rip that out of the... Wait, before I do that, let me get an axe. Welcome to the ADHD hour, which is every hour with Logan. On the hour, every hour. Axe. I literally said what I needed 2 seconds ago, and I immediately forgot it. Alrighty. Also, I love that, like, legitimately, when I talk about I drop into random deep conversations, sometimes I mean actually philosophical. Half the time I mean I will be ranting about Disney ethics for literally an hour and a half. Which, by the way, another Disney ethic, don't try to break a character performer. It's extremely rude and ruins the experience for everyone. And I say this as somebody who has made that mistake in the past. Don't do it. It's rude. And just, like, generally gross, because it ruins, like... Because, again, remember that Disney is first and foremost a kid's park. Like, don't ruin the experience for children. Point blank, period. I don't care if you don't like them, just don't. Alrighty, let's go. Am I doing the right... Okay, I was gonna say, I hope I'm doing the right block. Hang on. Bop. There we go. Cool. Bop. Now let's grab you. Give me that. I like that I'm like, oh, my insistence on making a proper portal has finally come into handy for once. Into handy? What? In handy. I swear I can speak. Anyway, my loves. Let's see. And I will probably be playing Hypixel after this on my TikTok stream. So, like, I don't know. And I don't know if I'm just going to be wandering around my building plot touching that up, or if I'm going to, like, actually play a couple of games. I might do both. We'll see. But, alright, let's go. Because it's getting late, and I don't want to run into creepers. Bop, 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 bop. Very good, very pog. Let's go, my loves. Let's go work on this enchantment station. But yeah, eventually I will get sick of having the cobwebs there and go ahead and rip them down, but you know. Anyway, let's go. Bow, bow, bow. Right. I don't know why I looked in here. Oh, I needed a book. Or some. And then I need at least 1 diamond, I'm fairly certain. So I'm gonna grab my diamonds. And I will start to make diamond armor after this, but you know. I believe it is like so. A book. Then... Okay, I remembered that completely off my cuff. That's pretty cool. Alright. Because I struggle sometimes with things that I don't regularly do, like enchantment stations. Because, like, on my own worlds, I hardly ever do enchantment stations. Because I don't care, because usually I'm playing on either easy or creative or whatever. Let me go ahead and start making diamond stuff. Or I'm gonna wait to sleep, you know? Because I'm up here, I might as well be the one, you know? Make it a little easier on everyone else. Gosh darn, mobile really is far behind. I just got out of the... trying to put stuff away in the chest, like, that I did 30 seconds ago. Like, I kind of thought that people were exaggerating. Anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and make a chest plate first. Oh, like that. Oops. Okay, and then the pants. That is not a pants. I do not need that much room. Okay, and then the shoes. And technically now I have enough to go to the nether, but I kind of want to get more diamonds before I do that, just to have, like, you know, a spare. Also, can I say something that was really sweet was that I saw recently, and I kind of knew that Philza did this, based on... Philza has a habit that I find very endearing, where he will, intentionally keep, like, the first items of a server. So, for example, like, his first tools, he will keep as mementos. And that is just, like, the sweetest thing in the whole wide world. Actually, you know what I need? I need more wood. So let me go take care of that. And, like, it doesn't seem to matter what server he's on, he has a habit of keeping his tools, and I'm just like, aw. And then you have me throwing them into a furnace, because I'm like, I don't need them anymore. Alright, my loves, let's go. Bow, ha bow, ha ba da ba bow. Alright. And this side of the jungle, I think, is pretty much only populated by me. So there's that. Alrighty. I just need enough to turn into sticks, really. But yeah, I want diamond tools. Specifically the ones I don't use a lot. Like, the reason I insist on having an iron pickaxe until I get mending is because I use my pickaxe so much that I know, you know? It's the same thing that happened with my iron shovel when I was... Because I don't usually use shovels a lot, but because of the way the Ashen Grove worked, I needed, like, my shovel a lot, so my poor netherite shovel is still kind of in dire straits. But it is what it is, my loves. It is what it is. Bow, ha bow, ha ba da ba bow. Also, I literally am gonna have to make, like, 3 separate videos with clips of me playing Deltarune for my TikTok, because that's how many clips that I want. And I didn't even save all the ones I want. Like, I need to go through and actually look up the timestamp for a point in the final fight where I said something that is, like, to this day, one of the funniest things I think I've ever said in a stream, which it was right when, in the final sequence, or one of the final sequences with the Queen, where she's having all the words scroll across screen, and then you just have a big red one that says, drama. And I said, oh, it must be a YouTuber apology. And I thought that was genuinely very, very funny. Also, if I wanted, I could go around and break all these dead bushes for sticks. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. But anyway. And I do plan to eventually build more surface structures here, right? Like, I'm building on planning, like, a whole, like, mesa city. But the original plan, back when I was decided this purely based on Mordecai's character, was that I would basically set it up so that there was just a bunch of hidden like rooms under his house. Why did I do that? Pray tell. But there would be like a bunch of hidden rooms, and the reason for that was like basically Mordecai is the type that he's a very fatherly character in general, even if he doesn't want to admit it. But he is very much the type who would, you know, if someone is in desperate need of something. Where are my diamonds? Where did I... Oh, I'm wearing them. What am I talking about? Where are my diamonds? But if he sees someone that is in, like, dire need of something, like, say, a house, he would very much be the one to provide that. And obviously, the whole origin of this server was an explosion. So a lot of people don't have houses right now. So his first thing that he said, if you weren't on the ForgottenSMP's premiere stream with like Shelby or Draconics or whoever else streamed it, is that, you know, my home is always open. Because he is being genuine, he just doesn't like to see people suffer. Because, you know, he's been through a lot, and he doesn't want to see people go through what he did. Alright, let's go. I do not think that I had finished off my last tunnel. Like, I don't think that it was done being excavated. Like, I don't think we ran into any lava yet, so I'm gonna continue on this tunnel. But yeah. And I'm still not sure I like the banner for the Silent Steps as much as I like the Ashen Groves. But it fits the steps aesthetic, because, you know, it's just a sun rising over the steps. And it looks really cool. And yes, I made a bunch of them when the server was still in creative mode for the start of the server, because I did not fancy trying to make a bunch of the same banner with a pattern that you usually need to find an actual pattern stamp for. So, there's that. And I literally made the banner for the Silent Step and decided on the name for it. As I recall, it was only 10 minutes before the server opened. It was something stupid like that. Anyway, more diamonds for me, yay. Any more hidden? Does not look like it. Anyway, my loves. And again, I don't I should dig the redstone, shouldn't I? For experience. Oh, anyway. Oh, Undertale. So this is the literal track named Undertale. And anyone who's played the game knows why it's emotional. Like, because it's basically telling you the backstory of why things are the way they are. Like, in a heartbreaking way, because all of the enemies that you've experienced in the game come together and, like, start, like, singing for you, or not singing for you, but, like, explaining the story. Oh, it's so sad. And it's such a good theme. It's so well made. Oh, it makes me emotional. Alright, very good. There are very few games I wish I could get back my very first experience with, whether it be watching or playing. Undertale's one of those games. The other games that very much, so Breath of the Wild, Shadow of the Colossus. What other games? Ironically, I actually really wish I could genuinely get back the first time I ever played Pokemon. And I mean, like, when I was playing Pokemon Red and Green. I mean OG Pokemon. Because I'm old enough that I was the original target demographic for Pokemon back when it first dropped. I'm gonna leave some of that coal for right now, because I've got a lot back at the house. And I'm getting nervous about lava. But, yeah, like, Pokemon, like, my very original time through, I wish I could get that back. But yeah, definitely Shadow of the Colossus, Breath of the Wild, what other games do I wish I could get? And Undertale, obviously. What other games do I really wish I could get back the first time I ever played them? Because they, like, made that much of it. Oh, Kingdom Hearts! Kingdom Hearts is another one I genuinely wish I could get that original experience back. Even though, like, I know that there are people who make fun of people who, like, talk about Kingdom Hearts being one of the best games. Like, I just consider it a game that took an extremely big risk, like, in general. Like, I don't really know if anyone had totally done what Kingdom Hearts did before they did it, so it has to be acknowledged how much of a risk Kingdom Hearts was. Because, right, like, they had their success with Final Fantasy, so, like, it was a risk doing another Final Fantasy style game, like style RPG, within the same studio, and even containing some of the same characters, but a different lead and a different target age, because, like, Final Fantasy was aimed a little bit older, like, a little more, like, teen and up than child and up, but you're also taking the risk of, now you have to get all of the licensing money from Disney to be able to use their licensed characters, which is why a lot of the licensed voice actors did not come back, because they couldn't afford them, which is also why, fun fact, a lot of Kingdom Hearts 1 is completely unvoiced. It's totally done over text. Like, the Cheshire Cat never speaks. There's a couple other characters like that. But, regardless, it would, especially for the first game, it would have been a massive risk to get the money and funded to be able to afford all of these high-profile voice actors. Like, I think the only one that they got back, and I think it was just in Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't think they got him for Kingdom Hearts 1, but as I recall, James Woods always voices Hades, no matter what he's in, unless it's like, you know, not Disney's Hades, because James Woods loves Hades that much. But like, a lot of the other licensed characters, they definitely didn't get. But yeah, that's another game I really wish I could get back my first experience with. Like, those are probably my big, what did I say? I said like 4. Original Pokemon, Shadow of the Colossus, Breath of the Wild, Kingdom Hearts, like, and Undertale. Those 5. Those are the big ones that I... Because, right, like, once I hit Deltarune, I was expected what Toby did. Like, I was wise to Toby's tricks. So, like, it didn't stun me as much as Undertale did. But, like, I will say, I am much more attached to the characters in Deltarune than Undertale. Because, like, if anything happens to Lancer, I'm rioting. Like, anyone who watched my playthrough heard firsthand, I was ready to, like, just go to war over Lancer, over what happened in Deltarune Chapter 2. I was ready to throw hands, because I adore Lancer. And partially it comes from the fact that Lancer's very much, like, I don't know, like, 10, 11 range. Like, he's young. So, like, my heart already just aches for him because, you know, I have that kind of, like, protective instinct over him as a kid. But also, like, he's just a dweeb, and I love him. Again, he reminds me a lot of myself. So I just, you know? I can't explain why he breaks my heart. He just does. I do like that the song that started playing is called Run. I believe it plays during your encounter with Undyne when it's telling you to basically, you know, noob. There we go. It got stuck. It's fine. The engine backfired. Bow, bow, bow. Alright, very good. But yeah, I did feel for Jack when the Origin server started. He's like, I'm trapped in another realm! And I'm like, bruh, I feel that so hard. Because again, for anyone who watched, like... Or actually, I'm sorry, this didn't happen. When I was first getting into the Charmed SMP, the same thing happened, but I literally did that off camera because I knew how much of a pain it was going to be. And then I died in the middle of the Nether with Gilded Blackstone in my pocket, which made me very sad. And then I found out that they literally had built a portal right outside of Nether Spawn. So if I had just stayed put for a couple minutes, somebody would have built a portal that led from Nether Spawn. It's the one that I actually, to this day, use on the Charmed SMP, the Smalls portal / Demighost portal, whoever you want to phrase it as, one of their portals. That's the portal that I still use to this day. Because I don't like venture far from home. That is do not do that, Logan. Use your brain cells. You have them. Not many, but use them. Oh, and also don't throw your pickaxe like a fool. Alright, let's go. The only thing that I forgot about Deltarune versus, like, Undertale was that due to one Susie, there's a lot more swearing in Deltarune, which was one of those things that I was having a hard time dodging around and keeping my morals. Because again, I swear like a sailor off stream. I don't know why on stream I've decided that's just not my vibe, but whatever. I may eventually just fall into just swearing a lot, but who cares? And hey, then I can make even more I'm the bad that swears kind of jokes. Because if any of you have ever tuned into my TikTok streams, you should be very well aware of the fact that I regularly get called Dollar Tree Bad Boy Halo because of my voice. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But now I'm like, you know what? It's fine. He's cool. But man can throw knives, like, at a competitive level. That's pretty friggin' cool. I don't mind being Dollar Tree Bad Boy Halo. Anyway, bow, bow, bow. That is a crafted table, Logan. Bow, 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 bow. Very good. Also, I'm still extremely tempted to get Phil's merch, specifically the gray zip-up hoodie. With it's like a soft version of a Letterman jacket. I'm very, very tempted, but also I don't need it, you know? But my partner is so funny, my spouse. Every time that comes up, Acro will turn to me and say, I can hear the "I don't need it" in your head when you look at this stuff. Like, I can hear it, like, just whirring in your head. And I'm like, shut up. You're right, but shut up. Anyway, I'm still mad that they only died, like, 2 or 3 times in the fight with both of the fights with the Queen. I'm very annoyed about that. Alright, I completely forgot that I didn't have a Megalovania on here originally, and then I put it on today, so I actually genuinely got startled by having Megalovania on there. Fun fact, there are 3 iterations of Megalovania, so the first time I heard it was not actually Undertale, because I was a filthy Homestuck, and Toby Fox did a lot of the music for Homestuck, so one of Toby Fox's flagship song is Megalovania. The first time it cropped up, as I recall, was a ROM hack of Earthbound. I believe it was Earthbound, which is, you can tell is Earthbound influence just by looking at Undertale. It's very obvious. So it was its first big documented case was in a ROM hack for Earthbound. Then it showed up in Homestuck. I forget what the fight was. I think it had not Aradia. Oh my gosh, what's her name? She's literally the one that shares my star sign. Oh no. Oh no. She's the spooky girl. Oh no. Her, like, ancestor was named Aradia. I think. Regardless, but I believe it was a fight between her and Vriska. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain. It's been a while since I've looked it up because that's one of those fandoms that I was at a very dark point in my life when I was in it, so it holds extremely dark memories for me, so I don't like to look back on it, you know? But it's one of those things that, like, I will still, like, I'll send it in chat, like, to this day, I will still do stuff like, this, when I'm, like, confused about stuff, where I'll do the colon question mark. Like, one could say the cycle of stupidity is complete, but, and stuff, like, I'll regularly get clips stuck in my head, like, there was a very well-known Let's Read of Homestuck going around that I think is still going, but, it's by, I believe their group name is Voxus, and they had a very particular John voice actor who, the way he said it jumped out of my Sylladex like a frightened weasel, to this day still sticks with me, like, constantly. But I wish that I had left that fandom on better terms, but, like, anyone who is in that fandom knows that whenever people call fandoms toxic and they aren't referring to Homestuck, people will laugh at you, like, if they were in the Homestuck fandom, because the Homestuck fandom legitimately knows they are the most toxic fandom on the internet. Like, it is just a known fact, and I have never seen a fandom that has even come close to how toxic Homestuck was. And I'm saying that as somebody who was a Homestuck. Like, that fandom was bad. And, like, also way more insufferable. Like, if you think the Dream SMP fandom is insufferable, it's really not that big a deal. Like, you talk to me once you've started to wreck hotel bathrooms, and then we can start talking. Or, you know, when you, like, literally make a COD have to physically shut down. Like, then we can get back to talking about toxic fandoms. But, like, it was also one of those ones, unlike a lot of the other fandoms that are currently on the, oh my gosh, it's so toxic. A lot of the Homestuck fandom was not only adults, but had money to do stupid stuff with. Like, that's the thing to keep in mind about things like the Dream SMP. It's a very young fandom, like, in terms of their age demographic. Like, there's a reason why a lot of people on this server are actually adults, because the whole reason the Forgotten SMP started was because a bunch of us older Dream SMP fans got together because we were tired of being surrounded by children, for lack of a better term. Especially, you know, me, because, like, a lot of people here know fairly well that I'm almost 30. Like, I'll be 30 in March. God, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm gonna close off this tunnel here. So I, at some point, start to feel genuinely uncomfortable with the amount of children that are, like, in my sphere, to the point that I will not only intentionally distance myself, but, like, because, again, like, and if you're seeing this coming from my TikTok, like, there's nothing wrong with being a kid. I just don't personally feel comfortable, like, talking to literal children on the reg, you know? It just, it feels weird. So the reason the server was started was it was a bunch of older people in the Dream SMP fandom who were, like, 18 and up. And, like, we have some teenagers on the server, but not many. Like, I think we have, like, 3. It was the older people in the fandom who were just like, I feel uncomfortable when I don't know if I'm talking to someone who could literally be, like, 12. And I agree with that statement, so they put out, like, a video that was like, hey, we're starting a server that's, like, you know, the older end of the fandom and up, blah, 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 here's the Discord. And then I was like, oh, cool, Pog, I can deal with that. And so I came in, and at some point, someone were like, do we want to start a server? And I'm like, I'll apply. And literally, the whole reason I got my new computer was so I would be able to stream in general, but specifically stream this new server. So I'm just so happy that it's here and that I can show you guys, like, and I don't have to keep stuff secret anymore. Like, I'm just so happy. I am a happy man. Any old way, my loves, any old way. Let us go. Bow, 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 bow. Alright, good, good, good. Up we get. Up we get. And we can start kitting out our tools so that I can, you know, not have to worry as much. It's getting late, that's fine. Even if I wasn't up, I'm pretty sure Tadic would be able to do it, because Tadic seems to be hanging around their house lately. Let's go ahead and make a new... Ooh, sorry. A new axe. Oh, gosh darn it. Good. I don't know why the shape looks especially weird when it's, you know, an axe. But, whatever. Hello, Stella. How are you, dear heart? I need to get more birds. Because I'm living right next to the jungle, I might as well. But it is what it is. I'm just stoked that we're finally on the server. And yes, I know a couple of the tiles on the floor are misaligned. I literally got so tired of aligning them that I don't care anymore. Bow, bow, ba-da-da-ba-ba. Let's... I think I put my flint in here usually. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's get in here. I might, for the last little bit of stream, go grab some sand to try and sand over that place again, but we'll see. Any old way, any old way. The only thing that I genuinely miss as far as things that the Charmed SMP has, aside from, like, Origins and not having to worry about fire, is, I genuinely miss having access to, the little sort button, and the ability that if I have a crafting table in my inventory, I can just, you know, throw things in there, or that I can just use a crafting table as long as I have one in my inventory. Alrighty, bup, ba-dup, ba-dup, bup, bup. Bup, bup, bup. Good. Cool. Let's go ahead and do this. Bup. And then I think this works. Yep, okay. Thank gods that works, because it would be annoying if it didn't. Alright, let's make some more chests. Cool, 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 cool. Oh gosh darn it, get in there. There we are, my loves. There we are, my loves. Okay. The question is, I think I just want to do this. Alright, cool. Bop, 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 bop. Alright, very good, very pog. Alright, can't put anything else in there, we'll put it in here. Alright, good, good. And I need to, organize this a little better. Like, I need to get a tools chest going and, like, armor and all that crap. Because right up here, this has just been my catch-all. So let's grab all the armor, all the tools that have been hidden. I kind of class doors and ladders under that. Well, they should be classed under deco, actually. They should not be classed under tools. What else? What else? Buckets classed under tools. I don't really see anything else in there right now that needs to do the thing, so let's go. Let's go. Alright, tools chest. Bucket. Flint and steel. Hoe. Chest plate, shears, helmet, legs, old axe. And again, I don't mind, like, having my axe be, diamond. Like, I don't need to be paranoid about that. What I will be paranoid about forever and always is my pickaxe. That is the one that I actually, like, get concerned about. Any old way. Let's grab... Well, yeah, okay. Grab you guys. You guys can come with me. Because you're basically blocks. Anyway, okay, cool. Cool. Very good, alright. Okay, let's see if we can find some more diamonds before end of stream. Let's see, my loves. Bow. Alright, cool. Very good, very pog. Alright, good. Let us go. Alrighty, my lovelies. Let us get into it. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more dangerous honeycomb mines that I've had. Like, in the fact that, like, most of that side is completely unusable, which is why I had to switch to the back. Like, it only really got feasible over here. And, like, I will eventually... Oop, where are my torches? There they are. I will eventually continue it. Hello, cat. Oh my gosh, you scared me half to death. Sorry, my cat just jumped up into my lap. Hello, Jeb. How can I help you today? Keep on. Alright, let's go. Bow. Alrighty.
Hello. I'm gonna give you kisses.
Any old way. Bow. Alright, cool. Alright, as long as we don't get a lava spike, we'll be fine. Bow. Alright, cool. Good. Bow. Very nice. Very pog. Cool. Gotcha. What is my... Hello? What is my iron number? There we go. Oh my gosh, cat, make a decision. You can't do this when we do the TikTok stream, because I have way too many wires that need to not be tangled up. Sorry, she just, like, shoved me really hard. Cat, what are you doing? Being adorable, frankly, but, you know. You know. Alright, good. Alright, give me that. Give me that. Alright, good. Ooh, lapis. Could always use that. Could always use lapis. As long as there's no lava above it, we'll be fine. Was that really just a singular piece of lapis? That sucks. Anyway, loves. Anyway. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, good. Bow, bow, bow. I had a lot of fun with Deltarune as well. Like, I love getting to do voices on stuff, because, like, that's one of my great oh, hello, Flowey. That's one of my, like, big passions is doing voice work. So, genuinely had fun. Especially because Susie's my very favorite, like, point blank period. And getting to see her, like, have her, like, cute moments, just, oh, my heart. My heart, man, I can't handle that. I'm weak. Especially because, like, Undertale, conversely to, like, something like Homestuck, happened at an extremely, like, it was at another dark point in my life, but it happened in such a way that it helped, like, brighten my day a lot. So, like, it kind of had the opposite effect to some of the other fandoms that I've talked about, like the Ososod fandom, the Homestuck. Those are my two real big fandoms that, like, I cannot look at anymore because, like, again, I was at an extremely dark point. So, like, I just genuinely can't look at those fandoms anymore without feeling depressed. Which stinks, because, right, like, some stuff is still genuinely funny. Like, Ososod is still genuinely hilarious. It gets me every single time. But, like, I really can't take part in any of the fandom culture again. For one, because that show has a very toxic fandom. And I mean, like, not, like, in terms of, oh, it's the most toxic fandom ever. No, I just mean, it's not a fandom I want to associate myself with anymore. But it just also genuinely was at a super dark point in my life. And unlike a lot of stuff that I can share my enjoyment of it with my spouse, Acro, my spouse really doesn't like Ososod, so, like, it's one of those things that, like, and it's not in the same way that they don't, like, they don't care about Dream SMP, right? So that they'll let me rant, but they don't care. They actively don't like Ososod. And that's fine. They're allowed to not like it. I know exactly why they don't like it. Like, it's a combination of the community around it and the fact that the style of humor just is not their cup of tea at all. And I totally understand. Matter of fact, it was one of the things they were actually kind of genuinely surprised that I got into the fandom, because it's technically not a style of humor I enjoy either, but it's just something about the way that the actors deliver it that just gets me. And also the fact that, like, of the Japanese cast, I was just tickled pink over the fact that Kono Sensei, who has a very high-pitched Japanese voice in his Japanese lines, and his English lines, but I'm specifically talking about the Japanese voice actors, and Ichimatsu, who has a very low, raspy voice, were voiced by the same person. Like, my whole world was rocked when I heard that. I was like, are you... And apparently he's an extremely prolific Japanese voice actor. He was asked at some point, you know, how do you have such range with your voices? And he just very matter-of-factly, calmly said, I'm a professional. And that was, like, the end of that conversation. I'm like, bruh, as cool as a cucumber, man. But yeah. Anyway. And if I recall, I think, I could be wrong about this, but of the main people that voice the boys, I think he is the most experienced voice actor among them. Because I know that, like, he's kind of regarded as, like, the like, older person of the group. In terms of, like, how he reacts to stuff, where he's like, it's a job, basically, you know? Whereas some of the other people who are in the voice acted troupe, both in the English and Japanese dubs, are extremely excitable, and it just reminds me of the difference between Harrison Ford and oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? Oh no, Mark Hamill. How they both react differently to Star Wars, where Harrison Ford was much older when it started and already had a fairly, if not very, popular career. So he was just like, it's another job or whatever. And then you have Mark, who's just like, literally will go and take pictures with gas stations named Tashi Station because he is that much of a nerd. Because like it was his real first big break. Like Star Wars did everything for Mark, whereas it was just another job to Harrison. So it's just very interesting the different ways they react. Also, one of my other favorite things, high key, low key, is hearing Mark Hamill, who is an extremely accomplished voice actor. Like, he is easily one of, if not my favorite Jokers of all time. He also voiced the scientist in Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. He voiced the new version of Chucky. He's done, like, a ton of voice acting. To the point that there was a Batman sketch where they had a bunch of characters that he voiced all in the car, and they basically did each other's voices to escape a situation. It was really funny. But he's just a dweeb about Star Wars, because again, that was like his very first big break. And matter of fact, the reason he went into voice acting is after Star Wars, people only wanted to cast him as essentially a Luke clone. Like, nobody could see him as anyone other than Luke, so he went into voice acting because of that, and the rest is history. He is so stinking talented. Apparently, he's so sweet. Like, he's one of those actors that a lot of people talk about, you know, like, the whole never meet your heroes thing, it does not apply to Mark Hamill. He is an absolute angel, apparently, when it comes to meet and greets. But he does a really hilarious and, in my opinion, pinpoint accurate impression of Harrison Ford that apparently Harrison Ford doesn't like, and he just kind of says like, hey kid, like he goes into the low range, and he again, it's a pretty good impression. Like, it's obviously not Harrison Ford, like you wouldn't listen to it and believe it's Harrison Ford, but you know exactly who he's referring to when he does the voice. Like, it's very obvious. But apparently Harrison does not like it, and every time is like, I don't sound like that, and he's like, yeah, sure, Harrison. It also occurs to me how weird it is to refer to Harrison Ford by just his first name. It's kind of like referring to Jack Manifold as just Jack. Like, it just doesn't sound right. Anyway, let's continue. Once this pickaxe breaks, I'm probably going to call stream there. Oh, hello, network error. Why? Hello? Come back. Hold on. Did everything just break? I don't know if my stream is still going, but my mod window doesn't want to be up, and that's a problem. Oh, ruh-roh. Well, I guess that means I'm going to call stream here. I will see you guys later. I am going to stream on Hypixel on my TikTok after this. I will see you there. Tomorrow we will still probably do more Forgotten SMP. And I will see you all there. I love you guys so much. Bye.